Good morning, guys. What's going on? My name is Ben Edwards, and this is the lab. Hey, so what the lab is all about is we're going to be taking deep dives into how you feel your best, because when you feel great, life gets easier, and it's easier to do everything else we want to do, whether that be our fitness goals, our business goals, our work goals, kids, family, friends, you name it. It all gets easier when you feel great. So we're going to be doing a series here where we talk about how you can find those ways to optimize the way you feel. It's going to have to do with the body. It's going to have to do with the mind. All the things that will give you the energy you need. We're going to go over some supplements, some peptides, nootropics, all the exciting things. But we're going to kick off this series talking about the basics, and then we're going to move into some of the more quote-unquote exciting stuff that can help you get that extra edge and put you in the right environment to be able to move forward on what you're trying to do. So let's talk about sleep today. First and foremost is you gotta sleep. Sleep is when the body repairs itself. Sleep is when the body detoxifies itself. There's a lot that's happening. Your brain is going through a lot of phases when you sleep. It's also allowing your body to repair itself. If you're into building muscle or you're trying to lose weight, sleep also becomes a very important part. But most importantly, have you ever had a bad night's sleep? It's really hard to function the next day. Everything's agitates you a little bit more, which means a little bit more cortisol and stress, which is also going to have downstream bad effects for your body. And that's just because of a lack of sleep. But we all know we should be getting sleep. So how do we get a little bit better sleep is the question, right? Well, first and foremost, I think it's important that everybody set a bedtime. Just have an out time. You know, when you were a kid, you had a bedtime. As an adult, you wake up at a certain time to go to work, do your thing. Well, now it's time to have an adult bedtime. Just having that time is going to help you ensure that you actually get to sleep by a certain time, and it's going to allow your mind to start doing the shutdown process so you can get ready to go to bed. Because if you don't set boundaries, you're never going to stick with them. All right, moving on. Next thing I would do is I would avoid scrolling for that last hour of the day. Honestly, take the phone, put it in the other room, put it on the charger. You're not going to miss anything. Just because what happens, and the reason behind this is when you start to scroll, you're going through your phone like this, and your mind's going, the next thing, 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 next thing, next thing. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, what about that? What about that? What about that? And your mind never stops. So you're getting this ongoing cycle in the mind where it's getting all revved up. Versus if you take that phone, put it in the other room, and let it sit there, your mind can begin to relax, even if you are watching TV or something like that. And a lot of people are going to tell you should read a book and da-da-da-da-da. I'm not going to say that because I'm realistic and I understand that a lot of us are going to watch TV at night. But one thing you can do that's going to help your mind start to relax so you can actually go to sleep is putting that phone in the other room. Other things that I find that do help with sleep is when you come to the bedroom, you want the bedroom to be the bedroom. That means we keep the TVs out and we keep the electronics out of the bedroom. Have the phone charging in the bathroom, or if you have to, you can have your phone in the bedroom but don't have it right next to the bed. That way, and black out all the lights, because you want that room to be as dark as possible so you can get a great night's sleep. So set the environment to be able to get a great night's sleep. That means making sure the room is dark, making sure it's cooler. About 65 degrees is kind of where they say that like you get your best sleep. And so if you're just cold enough that you can put a blanket over you, you're going to be in a good spot. As far as staying asleep goes, and part of the reason I don't want your phone right next to your bed is because it's too easy to pick it up and accidentally scroll. And it's, again, if you start scrolling in the middle of the night, it's going to activate your thinking and your mind, and you can quickly get to the point you wake up and then it's really hard to go back to sleep after doing that. So leaving the phone at least on the other side of the room so you're not doing that. Get an alarm clock or something so you can check the time, or just set your alarm on the phone and it's across the room. The other benefit is when the alarm goes off, guess what? You actually have to get up. And tangent aside, never mind, I'm going to go there. If you're going to set an alarm, what's the point of setting an alarm if you're not actually going to get up? If you're going to wake up 15 minutes later, get that 15 minutes of sleep, set the alarm, and wake up like an adult. I'm just saying. Everybody's got a different opinion on the matter. Anyways, moving on. Now, we covered the room sleep. I'm going to scroll down here. There's actually an article on the website which will help out with a lot of this. Let's see if I missed anything. Nope, I think we are on fire. Now, the last section of this is, we got two more things that are going to help with your sleep real quick. One is if you're breathing, you're sleeping. So you want to make sure that you're not snoring at night, because if you are snoring, a couple things are going to happen. One, you're going to wake up and you're going to have a dry mouth. Two, you're going to be experiencing a lot of brain fog the next day. The reason this matters is because essentially when you're snoring, you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain and your body throughout the night, which is why it's resulting in having that feeling of brain fog the next day. So if you are snoring, it is something you want to address because you're not getting a great night's sleep. Now, there's a couple of ways to do this. You can get nose strips, which is going to open up your nostrils. You can get mouth tape, which you can put on, and that is going to keep your mouth closed so you're forced to breathe through your nose. That's personally what I do, and I find I get a way better sleep when I do that. It is weird the first time you try it because you've never done it before. You're gonna wake up in the middle of the night, you're gonna be like, ah! But then after that, you get used to it, and I can walk around the whole next morning with it on until I'm ready to actually have my first sip of water or coffee or take some pills or whatever it is I'm trying to do. So those are two options that I think everybody can pretty much, like, if you're having trouble snoring and you're waking up with that brain fog, those are worth trying and experimenting with. See if it works for you. Not everything's going to work for everybody. Now, if you are having serious issues, you might want to talk to your doctor, do a sleep study, and go on and possibly get a CPAP. Because sleep is so important, you do want to make sure that you are taking a look at these areas. And then lastly, what we got here is we got supplements. So I kind of break these into a couple different categories. One is overall sleep quality. One is help you calm the mind, and the other is put you to sleep. So magnesium is going to be great for everybody. Most of us are all deficient in magnesium, so having a little extra magnesium before you go to bed can be great. It's going to help you have a more restful night's sleep. But then also, if you take the magnesium and you could take it multiple times throughout the day, that's going to help lower your blood pressure, but it's also going to help up your magnesium levels. But especially taking it right before you go to bed is a great thing. And then you've got L-theanine. So what happens is, if you have that racing mind, even though your phone's in the other room, going through a particular period of a lot of anxiety, it's a good time to go ahead and utilize L-theanine. L-theanine kind of helps you mute that part of your brain so you can actually relax to go to bed, and it gets your mind calm long enough that you can get into bed and go to sleep. So that could be a useful tool. The other thing you're going to be looking at is GABA. This comes and goes. It kind of depends on what your GABA levels are in your body, whether or not this is going to be useful to you. But if you're deficient in GABA, taking GABA can be a supplement that helps you go ahead and relax, get to sleep, stay to sleep, and have restful sleep. And the thing with GABA is, like, when I was taking it back in the day when I needed it, it would actually, I could get 6 hours of sleep and I'd feel like I slept like forever, as compared to like having to need 8 or so to sleep. So it is great if you need it, but then you'll find that eventually maybe you don't need it so much and it's not as beneficial, so you get kind of a different effect from it, and so it's time to switch out from using it and move on. Now, the other thing I will say is, if you are going to experiment with GABA and you're going to try it, it's definitely great for increasing your sleep if you need it, but it's got like a 30-minute window. So if you take it, you want to go ahead and go to bed, pretty much be in bed by the time you take it, because after that 30-minute window, there seems to be this weird effect, and I don't know what the actual data is there at the moment to give it to you, but for some reason it has a reverse effect where you might stay up. When it helps put you to sleep, I'm not really sure what that is, but for some reason, if you don't get to sleep within that 30-minute window, I've talked to multiple people and they seem to have the same thing. Anyways, I think that's about going to wrap it up. If there's any questions you have, or you're interested in this topic, I'd love for you to get subscribed to the channel, check it out, and I'd love to hear your comments, because I want us to interact, because the more we interact, the better we can do, the better we can all help each other, because this is really just one big experiment. We're in the lab, each individual, we're our own lab, we're trying to feel our best, we're trying to find the things that work for us, and understand the process by which they work, not just because some guru said do it. So figure it out, find out the processes, understand the things, and then apply them to your life. See if they work. If they don't work, move on. If they work, keep them and add some new things. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye.